Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wonder.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Boys.
3 of 4.
3 of 4. We've got one more.
1 to go.
Man, oh man.
Did you know that was the 7th bye round we've had this year?
We've become quite
Great
used to it.
The 7th.
What was it,
That's
though?
not that bad from him. That's good.
7th for fantasy,
Yeah.
8th overall.
Whoa.
Because wouldn't you call opening round a bye round?
Some
Yeah,
people
sort
don't
of.
count that
So we
one.
didn't play it.
No, it's true.
Some
Yes.
people
No, I think you've done well.
discussed.
We've got quite used to the best 18s, haven't we?
I love it.
I want it for the rest of the year.
It does
My
take,
fraud team needs it, to be honest.
It takes the edge off, doesn't it? A little bit of pressure off because you see those 40s and 50s drop and you just go, oh, well,
No, it doesn't matter.
see, mate.
Does
Doesn't
that
matter.
be in the future of fantasy? Have more of a best 18,
I
a best
think
ball
so.
type thing?
Just at least drop one off. That's the sub vest.
Yeah.
You drop off.
Fingers crossed we don't have the sub.
Well,
next
wouldn't
year.
that be elite?
I think we're moving in that direction.
I reckon common sense has to prevail.
It does.
All right, let's talk about our weekend that was. I'll start because mine was bad. Well, it wasn't. It was par, is what it was.
Below
And,
par.
1779 moved me up 60 spots.
Oh, that's a double bogey. Double bogey. Double bogey. Look at him.
Well, sorry that we can't all be ranked so poorly and move up 1,200 spots, big boy.
Hey,
You
went
scored
well, didn't you?
35 more than me.
by specialist, Roy.
You flicked the switch.
I have. I've
You
said it a long time ago. Up 1,200 spots, making me the best team here again this week.
With your 18-14.
Just puts me outside the 7K
Well, the thing
club.
is, when we've got someone that is so good and we're only a few
I
points
know.
behind them,
Yes.
it's not
Don't,
a bad
boys.
thing.
Let's
Don't,
talk
boys.
about this.
Destroy.
Well, once again, I was the worst team. I only went up 24 spots.
That's true.
So 18-22 I scored, which it did get me up that 24 spots. So 159.
It's coming. It's coming. It's
We're
coming.
doing it.
It's coming
Boys.
home. It's coming home.
We're doing
Keep the
this.
lid on it.
No,
The
lid off.
needs to stay on.
That lid.
You know I can mess this up from here.
24
I do.
spots, so you've moved up, I don't know, what's that, 15% or so?
Yep.
Well, yeah, no,
That's
I
good.
was surprised. I thought at one stage, if I'm lucky, I could hold. But yeah, there you go. Up 24.
Legit winning a hat.
You could do it.
You could easily do it.
I'll keep trying.
Yes.
That's what you did, Jenny. You stuck it right up them.
Calvin,
Present.
you said you were gutted. You were Devo. You're a drama queen. All right. Lockie Neal. No, Dayne Zorko. 125 he scored, Cow. Got him in the top 10 scorers for the week.
Not enough.
Mate,
No.
Look at the positives. 88 at half time. We won't talk about the 37 after the main break, but how about that?
You know how my brain works, dog. I see 88 and I double that and I go, like, that's nearly 200, right?
But it made no sense. He missed out on the junk time.
Yep.
The easy points, didn't
30,
he?
37 in the last half, 9 touches. Not good enough.
Nah, +3. Great trade in target. Did better than your trade in target. All right.
I'm going to give my +3. He's back. Look,
Yes.
the big Bont.
He's back again.
Flu game Bont.
Oh, yes, it was.
142, 3 goals. Look at him just getting it done out there.
He put his little tissues away and he
He
got
did,
out
he
there
did.
and dominated.
Choo. Yeah.
3 snags.
He was good,
Well,
wasn't
that's the thing. The best thing about Bont when he does have to rest forward is he kicks goals.
he? He does.
He was the top scorer of the round. And Calvinator, why didn't you make him your captain?
He would have been in the mix, Roy.
Yes.
Under
of
the
course.
blanket.
Under
If
the
you
blanket.
knew that he was going to be fit.
That's right.
Flu game. Anyway, my +3 goes to Jack Crisp. So Chippy,
Yeah.
he's on an absolute tear. That's 600s in a row, and I'm more recognising his body of work there with that +3.
Now, that's why you are winning a hat. Picks like that.
He's hitting everything.
Isn't he ever?
No, not everything.
Almost hitting everything. Let's do it.
It was the most disgraceful display I've ever seen.
Because it's just not acceptable.
Be careful what you call him.
That was a fair summary.
Yes.
All those words that
Yep.
we just heard, it wasn't acceptable, nor is peroxide in your hair, for the record.
Correct.
And that's a telltale sign if I haven't learned in the past, for goodness sake. So,
Yep.
Luke Ryan, I don't know, it's not really on him. It's more on me.
It is.
So, never again lists, we know it's a bit of a taboo thing. Like, a never again list is more of a saying. Of course, we can pull people off the never again list. But part of the never again list and rules of breaking your rule should be if they're over 1 million and sitting on a never again list, you probably shouldn't do it.
Hang on. He had the numbers to support.
So when it's a dude that's cost you a hat before, it's a bit of a raw point.
Yeah.
So 136 he'd been averaging in his last 5.
Yep.
He looked a completely different man. Even James Aish told him to get out of the square for a kick out, and he listened.
He listened. Yeah, I know.
He doesn't usually listen to that. He tells the others to nick off.
Yep.
So, I don't know. You know how sometimes people peroxide their hair to avoid, performance-enhancing drug tests?
Yep.
He just took a different approach.
He did.
And he goes, look, you don't need to test me. I can't get near it. So anyway, Luke Ryan, devastating to pay that much and get a 70.
Yeah.
Long term, I think it's going to be fine.
I think it will as well, but geez.
It was a hard one to swallow.
Give you the hot tip, Luke Ryan. Peroxide in your hair was cool in 1999. Not now.
Not now.
That's what's happened.
Yep.
That's why I don't have any hair now, mate. Because I peroxide it then. There's a little warning to
The
you.
salt in the wound too. Like, I got highly criticised for my "Want to Stop Crying, Bring in Luke Ryan"
Yeah.
video
Oh, wow.
that went viral.
It did. Of course it would have been.
It's actually
for all the wrong
one of the
reasons.
most views that we've ever
Yeah,
had.
it's one of those things you watch because you want to see how bad something is.
Yep.
And that's, hey, you take the views. But seriously, to then put that on my head, yeah. -3, Luke and myself. But he's got to work harder than that.
Well, I'm going to give mine to Zach Butters. Cannot handle a tag. But which one of you blokes said he was untaggable? Someone said that.
I think it was you when you went on
Yeah,
your
it was
little
you.
love fest for him.
It was you.
You went on this week.
I didn't mean it.
You went. Remember that little streak you were on? You would remember it because
Smart,
every week.
arrogant.
Yeah.
All of them.
Why wouldn't you have? He's so quick. He's just, that
Can't be touched. No one's untaggable.
Oh, God, I must have just said words then for the sake of saying words because he is as taggable as anyone comes. And I tell you what, I love the way he goes about it.
Yes.
And we talk about head tilts. His head tilt, I thought it was a positive head tilt because of how hard he worked. He just knuckled down like
aerodynamically.
his head. But maybe it's
Really?
a McRae-like head tilt.
Was it?
No, it's an issue. And they've got some games coming up where I think he's going to cop some attention.
We'll talk tags later, dog, because it is a big, big problem.
Hashtag TW.
TW.
Tag wash.
T-dub.
I'm going to give my -3 to Kapow, we used to call him, didn't we?
Oh, Kapow.
Kapow is now Kaplop.
He's been kapowed.
46, Roy. 46!
In a game when they were
And
dominating.
I know I shouldn't have him in my team. I know that.
ditto.
However, 46 from the man formerly known as Kapow.
Look, can I say something here?
He rode the pine a lot too in
He
that.
did.
Especially when the Roos were going well, when you thought, oh, he could pop up here.
Yeah. He was doing double ups
Yeah.
per quarter,
Yeah.
and he'd even finish on the pine and start on the pine. That sort of thing. Now I feel like I'm in a really hard position at the moment because anything I say could be deemed as arrogant.
Yep.
But I'm not being arrogant. I just want to bring up a topic from a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I've been very
when you
lucky.
preface it with that.
I've been very lucky
I don't know where this
with
is
my
going.
timing. No.
Right.
And trading people out. And when I traded out Kapow, when he still owned the nickname,
Yep.
he was tracking down. But you said you can't trade out a guy in the forward line who's averaging 85.
I did say that too.
Yeah, but all his work was done early. And since then, kaplop, like you said.
Yep.
Sometimes, Cal, you just need to pull the trigger when they're plopping.
Okay.
That's all.
I'll write that down.
Make it a rule. Now, that wasn't arrogant. That was just...
Oh, it sounded a little bit
Prior to
smug.
recording, Cow pulled the trigger when he was kaplopping, but...
Oh, that's true too.
Guilty as charged.
Goodness me. You were comfortable down there, obviously.
down there for a
Delayed
while,
the start
too.
of the podcast for quite some time.
Thanks. Sorry, anyone that was expecting it out an hour earlier.
Oh, get on with it.
Let's talk about the teams that are dominating. Matthew's team, Matt's Munster, was the weekly winner. Scored 44.
It's a good score.
Couple of 100 points.
That's
more than
good,
you,
isn't
right?
it?
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
good.
great score.
So, doing all right there. So, nice work. It was a very nice score. The overall leader now is Pom United Tom, who was there last week, I'm pretty sure. Tom is doing very nicely. 1860, so a few more points than you,
Yes.
Roy. But, extending that little bit of a lead there. The hat watch is big, though. Oh, Jono's team, Irish wristwatch.
Yeah, say that fast,
God,
Roy.
I'd be no chance.
Irish wristwatch. Irish witch watch.
Go, Roy.
Irish
Don't spin on me.
Oh, Roy.
Anyway, that's Hat Watch. 28,644 points. And the maths there, Roy, you're 70 points behind.
Wow.
That's doable.
No wonder
this
you
week.
guys are...
What?
teasing
70
me.
points?
I didn't know it was
Doable
only
this
that much.
week.
Oh, wow.
You are in a very good position to do that, so we'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
Stay tuned to this podcast to see. And you
Watch the choke.
Give us either the choke or the smug meter or whatever it is.
It's going to be a ride.
I need to do a poll. I don't know what people want more. The choke, I reckon.
I don't know.
Right, votes are in for the Michael Barlow medal. That's our cash cow of the year. And for round 14...
5 votes goes to Arie Schoenmaker. In his debut game, he used his booming left foot to finish with 15 kicks and 74 fantasy points. He increased his value by 36,000. If you don't have him, dog, you must get him in next week.
All right.
Right, anyone riding Darcy Wilson to the bye will be happy with his final score for you. So he gets the 4 votes for his 71 points on Friday night. So he made a whopping 341k and is the 4th highest earner for the year.
Well, speaking of earner, Carl Warner. Kind of rhymes.
Sort of.
He gets 3 votes after being a late in for the Dockers. He racked up 71 points and could be an option to consider if he stays in the team.
Saving team Cowanator in the last game of the round was Harvey Thomas, and he's 67 points. I'm happy to give him the 2 votes, and his score was well entrenched in my best 18.
The Wizard had a couple of games in the Magoos, kicking 8 goals and delivering a couple of tons. Now, he was back in for the Hawks, and he gets the 1 vote after scoring 67. That could have been even bigger too because he kicked 1 goal 4.
Wow.
Sprayed him.
Now the leaderboard, Darcy Wilson shot up to 3rd place with 19 votes now. Still sitting behind Jeremy Sharp on 28 and Matt Roberts on 21.
Here's the news of the week you need to know on the official AFL Fantasy podcast.
Rightio, the news started on Friday. Late change. Calvinator, another drama queen. Actually, this was your first drama queen thing.
How?
Tom Campbell was in. Oh, why does this always happen to me?
Okay,
Marshall.
because it does always happen to me. Robin Marshall has found a new way to stuff me up,
Still
right?
got a ton.
Now, I want to say there were some squirts going around.
There were.
And not just this morning. No. So, I just had a feeling, Roy.
Yes.
I had a feeling deep in my little bones
You were all over it.
that Tom Campbell was coming in.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
Yeah.
Calvin,
Dum-de-dum.
here I am.
Yeah.
And he did. He pinched hit with old Rowe.
Yeah.
But Rowe still did okay. He's got his ton. But I don't think he'll be back this week, will he?
Probably not.
No. He's gone.
Yeah, I reckon?
Nah.
I don't know.
Done all right.
He's got his bye. Got him! Got him! Here all week. Thank you.
That was good work. Right. No, I don't think long term it's going to be an issue for you.
I don't think so either.
No. Rowan, he worked really hard to get to that ton too. God, he looked good around the ground.
He was angry, Roy.
Yeah, he was.
Yep. So there you go.
Okay. Calvin, send me a shirt. Geez, I'm unlucky. That's what the group chat said.
Yeah, I am the most unluckiest coach in Australia.
You didn't like my reply, though. Roy and I copped Teakle in.
Yeah, that was good.
Teakle. We got Teakle.
We did.
We did. I was
got Teakle.
disappointed
You
with
got
that.
Dumpty-dummed.
Oh, jeez. Keep
I
going.
won't say the next one, what you said. No, I will. No, I hope Tom does his hammy in the warm-up.
I didn't say that. No. Come on. People know why he wouldn't have said that. Don't make things up.
I can send the screenshot out.
You've made up stuff about my toilet antics. You're not painting a very nice picture of me here.
You didn't paint a very nice one. Play on.
Stick to the script, Doug.
Liam Andrew hurt his ankle. Michael Walder's hurt his hamstring. Now, Hayden Young, did you see that
Yes,
in the
I
game?
did.
So a
Yep.
bit of a knee hyperextension. Did come back on, though. The warrior
Gutsy.
that he is.
He's a warrior.
Yeah, it was an interesting game for him too, because doing some jobs, all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff in that. A few other late changes were there. So we mentioned Carl Warner came in for Heath Chapman, who had a bit of hamstring awareness. Maybe that was the issue for poor old crying Ryan.
Who knows
Chapman
what
was
he's... issue was.
The big late change, though, was on Sunday. Jye Simpkin.
Come on,
12
Jye.
o'clock. I've got a 7-year-old that's doing a swimming lesson. I've seen that come through. You know what it's like up at the pool.
Yep.
Indoor pool. Chlorine and sweaty and hideous.
It's hard to breathe up there at the best of times.
And then that's happened, and the active parenting, supervising that I was there.
See you later.
Then, sorry, mate.
Just keep your head above water.
Learn to swim yourself.
That next hour, it was a stress. It was not good. So Jye Simpkin out with a hamstring. They said it's a grade 1. Did it apparently late in the week. Whatever late in the week means. If that's Friday...
Come on.
Oh, Kangaroos, you're not going to be on my Christmas list, I don't reckon.
No,
because
definitely not.
The pivoting is very hard when it's the second last game of the round.
Isn't it? The clock was ticking.
Yep.
That is not a good time for anyone, especially with kids, to be scrambling on your phone.
Yep.
No, this is where you're at a disadvantage for your top 100, Roy.
100%. There's a few categories, actually, that put me at disadvantage.
Massive.
What's your prime hitting zone, lifestyle-wise, to seriously be a contender? Because I'm trying to keep up there with these spare time legends.
The lucky people.
Yeah.
The lucky,
So what? You live in, so you got no partner.
Yep.
They're a hindrance on
they are.
on your rankings.
Get off your phone. Put your phone away.
Yes,
Yep.
100%. Like, and you just got to lay it out. What the hell are you supposed to do? Kids, they got no sympathy for the laid out.
You put Leo to bed, weren't you?
Yeah.
At the time.
You know, I get, Dad,
a
I'm
nightmare.
hungry. Dad, feed me. No, mate.
In the dark,
Go
I'm
away.
trying to read a book, and a book in one hand, human in the middle, phone on the other, flicking through options for Simpkin.
Yep.
What are you supposed to do? You want minimal friends,
That's
especially social ones that want to catch up on the weekend. Like, that puts you on the back foot.
I'm good there.
You should be dominating. Most of this, you might have the wife and the kids, you don't care about them. So that's...
You definitely don't want to be playing sport.
No.
You don't want to be involved in anything that requires a commitment on weekends, like playing a game.
You try umpiring footy in your team, Roy. It's very hard to
Bloody
do.
hard.
Done there. You need to request like games way outside of footy time slots.
It's hard to work. It's hard work.
You're just up against it.
So you're doing really well, considering.
It's no wonder. See, I'm surprised you even bother sitting on the toilet this morning. Like, you got to spend a good half an hour on the weekend just to check your team's in place.
Yep.
It's the only piece you get.
That's true.
Well, not that
Left
it's
in
even peace. You got to lock the door. It doesn't mean it doesn't get banged on.
That's it.
That's off-putting.
Dad!
So anyway, if you're up against it with at least one or two of these things in the top 100, she's tough going.
I can imagine.
Anyway,
Is
hang
this
in
a
there,
bit of
you guys.
self-handicapping?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is a bit.
Trying to take the pressure off. You guys are putting too much on.
What
me.
did you end up doing with the Simpkin thing?
Right. Now, this, we're talking it up having a laugh, but this was under the pump stuff.
It was.
For me. And I realistically, I had 5 minutes to have a good hard look. And that was still with screaming kid in the background. Like, they just had to self-settle or whatever they call it when you're feeling lazy.
I'm sure that's in a book somewhere.
Oh, it would be. Someone would have said it. Someone who played fantasy footy. Anyway, shut up!
How did that strategy go?
Much the same. It's a self-settle.
How crabby you're getting there too. God, this is good.
Oh, I was sweating bullets. Now, so I ended up having, I was calm enough to put a couple of good filters on to at least, recognise what positions I could be shopping in and all that sort of thing in the minimal players that we had left. Now, I was very interested in McMullen.
Yep.
Purely for points per minute, but that risk of the vest. And the backup was who? Angwin, which I didn't really want to pay 400 for. So that sort of ruled those guys out.
And you dodged that bullet there.
Yep. I had a bit of money in the bank, so I was looking at people like Boak, even though I think I would have fallen just short of him. Wardlaw, he got 1 minute of my time to have a look at.
Yep.
Now, that would have turned into being pretty kissed.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
For the 1 week anyway, because he went massive. But ironically, I was like, I don't want to spend that much on a guy who can't hit hundreds because he hasn't hit one all year. So that ruled him out. Anyway, with like 3 minutes left, I was like, take a deep breath, look long-term here, just grab some cash.
Yep.
So I went to Kruger because he had a good break even and he didn't have the vest to start with. So I was like, I will do that and hopefully on a best 18 week where it hasn't been high scoring anyway, get away with it, come out of it with 350K to enjoy my shopping this week and then make up for it.
Nice. You made a better decision than me.
Much the same in a way. At least I overpaid compared to you.
QGF and scored me 27 points.
27 points.
Didn't look real good either.
See the poor, he cramped.
Yeah.
See that?
Double cramp.
It was a beautiful kick. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
So he was charging through the middle, faked everyone out that he was going long, and then I don't know if he did now, I think about it, he might have just cramped up mid-kick. He's pulled the kick beautifully just over the top. But it was a full... Oh, have you ever had a double...
I've doubled.
A double cramp in the hammies?
Silly salmon.
Yeah. It is very painful. And the poor guy's stuck in the middle of the G.
Trying to get off.
Anyway...
That's how far away you felt because it was at Marvel.
Oh,
that's how I had
a single hammy cramp the other night climbing the fence to get out of here because they locked the gates on us. And I was halfway over the fence, which are quite high. And then bang, he goes full on cramp. Nearly fell to my death. But anyway.
Those little feet would have helped you.
I'm not worried about you falling off it. I was worried about Colby falling off it.
Yes, when he jumped the fence.
That's not good. That's why he's not back.
Oh, dear. But, yes, dog, that piece of play looked awesome, but I do fear for your
I don't know if he's going to be
job
there.
security.
And the worst thing is, like, this is...
How
if
come
we had
you went there instead of, like...
I had no... So what I did that for was to essentially hold Clary instead, because who I could have still gone to, I didn't like the options. So I thought, let's just do that. So then I keep Clary. That keeps me rolling through with, if he's my D8, although there's a few blokes that showed me that they want to be, M8.
Yeah.
They wanted to show me that they want to be there.
That's interesting, isn't it? So it really is quite important with your, especially when you got 3 trades then.
Yeah.
Like the order that you have the guys
100%
is a factor. Because I was out of...
So I basically got rid of a rookie and got in another rookie. So it didn't affect my on-field stuff. But the worst thing is, obviously, would have I gone Giath or would have I gone Arie?
I know.
Like,
that's why it's...
The timing and stuff. Like, it just sucks. So if we had have known about it and that had have been my plan, I would have been in a much better position.
So what did you do, Cal?
Well, I needed help. Because I was tossing up between Rosie and Whitfield.
And who did you call?
Well, I called Roy first. He didn't answer.
I didn't have time to answer my phone, mate. I had a bit going on.
So Roy didn't answer, so I was like, I better call Dog then. next one in line are my 2 friends. Dog did answer, right?
Yes.
And he was like...
and should have stitched you up.
Well, you did. You said by the time we had the conversation, I already had Whitfield in, and by the time we chatted, we were like, well, let's go Rosie, because that's what I'm going to do eventually anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, but I said to go Whitfield.
Well, anyway, I was going Rosie then. But by the time, because the Collingwood game already started by this point, so I went back in to switch Whitfield to Rosie, but because so many people were locked in.
All your DPPs.
Yeah, I couldn't get it back, so I was like, I'm stuck with Whitfield, knowing full well that he's got the tag coming this week. So, a nice little 120 got me out of the
So if you had have got Rosie, I would have beaten him as well.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. So, Dog told me Whitfield.
Unbelievable.
So, I was going to go Rosie.
Can I add just a little twist to my stressful 5 minutes, how it ended here? So, when I decided, take the cash, enjoy the spend up, just with about, I don't know, it was probably less than a minute left, I was like, hang on, isn't Kruger bloody DPP, ruck eligible? And I was playing 21 with Max.
Oh, yes.
Currently holding my
so
C.
12.59.
Yeah. So Max captain, because I was looping.
Right.
And I'm like, hang on, I can just play 22 on field now because I've got Krugs. So it turned into a on the keyboard. My hands were bloody shaking because I'm trying to get Krugs into the ruck.
Yep.
Because I had a bench emergency in the forward line, which was Big Brucey for 57, which was looking pretty good in my team at that point. So I was like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to loop Zork now? So that turned into a panic. Caldwell, get on the ground.
Yeah.
So I had to quickly put Caldwell on, Green off, emergency, Greenie, C on Caldwell, step back from the computer, bang, lockout. Oh, kissed.
And you would have double-checked
Nailed it. I did.
Yep.
But it was all too late anyway.
Well done. Well,
Stressful times, Cow.
It is.
Boy, oi, oi. A couple of other
Boy,
little bits
all
of
right.
news. Whitfield, Cow, that you did bring in.
Yep.
Copped a big hit.
He did.
But he was all right. He's a warrior these days.
He
He got
He's
rattled.
always back.
He was rattled.
Now, hashtag tagwash or hashtag TW. TW. So you've got the first TW.
Tagwatch this week.
Tagwatch
Yep.
this week.
Tag watch this week.
The back in vogue, and everyone's talking about it now.
Aren't
We've been
we
on
loving
it for
it?
a little while. But,
Yes. Once again.
what do you got, Cow? Where's the eye? Where's the good eye going for this week?
So we got to look week to week because it's a little bit hard to go too far forward because we're getting people that are getting tapped on the shoulder to tag that you're like,
Some
what
newbies
the
pop up.
hell? Who are you? Why are you tagging?
Who's the next
Yeah.
one coming?
So let's have a look. Friday night, we've got Walsh and Geelong have been using a bit of Blix as a tagging option, but he also went to Goulden last time, and Goulden has a 150.
Yeah.
So I don't know how hard that'll be. Geelong don't usually use it in a very firm way, so I'm not too concerned about that.
No.
The next one we've got is Brisbane and Port Adelaide. Brisbane have been using Jared Berry.
Yeah.
A bit worried where he goes here. I don't think he goes to Butters Dogs. He's untaggable. Right. But I don't think he does. Maybe Horn Francis.
It's a bet to me.
That's if they
as
use
a Butters
him.
owner. It's a
Yeah.
much more.
I think they see what
Like
happened
for
to
like.
Butters last week, and he goes,
And they
let's
won.
keep spreading it.
Yeah, I think so. Willem Drew will go to Lockie Neal. And then we've got the GWS Sydney game. James Jordan will go to Whitfield. That has to happen.
Yeah.
It happened last time.
It happened last time in round 8, held him to 48.
Oh, have mercy.
Yeah, so in a round where only 18's on scores
Yeah.
count. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the other one is, so Bedford, who went to Butters, gave him a bath.
Yeah.
They will do this again. Why won't they? And the most taggable one there has got to be Heaney.
See, Bedford, he's never tagged before, has he?
No.
It's not something you really have to train for
stuck
to
in
be
a
good at it.
forward
is
No.
it?
So,
You got to know how to lock down, and he obviously does.
so I think he goes to Heaney.
Do you?
And not Goulden.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a Weasel hater, because I'm a Weasel lover now. Right?
You are. No, I
to.
think you're probably right. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you go to him?
Then we got the Kangaroos and Melbourne game. Will Phillips, who was tagging this week, who was subbed off
for 3 quarters.
on Nick Dacos, and then Shields as well. So they might do a little bit of a roll. And I was like, well, who are they going to tag? They're not going to tag Clayton Oliver, are they? Oh, you wouldn't think so.
I hope not.
I don't think you would you?
Salem?
Oh, jeez.
I just don't think they've got anyone worth tagging.
Well, that's interesting.
And then the other one we've got, maybe Jinby goes to Merritt. I don't think that's going to happen
What
either.
happened last time?
Yeah, but I just don't think that West Coast really are going to look at doing that. And then the last game, I can't see a tag coming either in the Fremantle Gold Coast game. Sometimes Freo use Aish,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of times they don't.
Thing
so
is, though,
Miller is taggable.
yeah,
he's taggable.
we're in a situation where no one ever wants to be, well, we're an exception to the rule, but unfashionable.
Us? The three of us?
Cows are worse.
Oh, way worse.
But in the AFL, once there's a trend or a fashion,
Yep.
you don't want to be the odd one out. So why wouldn't West Coast, for example, do it when they're already trying to be with the cool kids
Yeah.
up the top?
And do you go to a
think
Nick
they
Martin
have to do
then?
it.
Like Nick Martin's more taggable than Zach Merritt.
Yeah.
But Merritt this year has had a couple of low games based on that.
Yeah. I feel like he does get tagged. He's
So-
a trade target for me too. I'm a bit concerned.
So
man.
are we looking, Roy, at teams now and targeting the second best player in the teams?
well, there has been years where the second and third best guys have been like real overperformers
goal.
because of that hard tag.
Yep.
Now, you think about, let's go back to our favourite days, the old school Geelong days.
Ablett, Bartel, Corey.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Gaz, we'd end up with Gaz anyway,
Yep.
but Gaz would have someone hanging off him the whole game.
Yep.
Now, he's still so good that he'd get his 30 and 3 and still get a good score. So we had Gaz, but the ones that you needed to have were Joel Corey, Bartell, Chapman, who avoided the attention and got a clear run at it week in, week out. Now, I don't know if there's many midfielders with the second and third guy at the moment putting their hand up to be, top 8 mid options. Is there? Can you think of any off the top of your head? So let's think about Carlton's midfield, for example. Walsh is the one that's been getting tagged lately. Cripper is dominating, having a great year, but he's not scoring.
No, he's not scoring.
Even though he's dominating. So Carlton, irrelevant in that regard. What about...
I think you're looking at teams like Sarong cops it for Freo.
Yeah.
Will Andy Brayshaw eventually step up and do something? No. But it's there for him to do.
So it's used to be, it should be someone like if he was fit, Darcy Parish's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like that, he's the kind of guy we used to look at here. Merritt getting tagged, Parish having a field day.
Yep.
But I can't think of a real Robin at the moment in the midfield that is going to be a target based on getting that clear run at it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do, so if you can see a clamp in coming, I like the look of Lockie Whitfield has ticked enough boxes and he's at a price at the moment where I'm very interested in bringing him in, right? But I can't do it this week because he's going to get that tag.
100%.
So I think I wouldn't get someone in I like a bit of instant reward. I wouldn't get someone in to cop this clamp. But long term, I don't think I'm avoiding anyone, even at top dollar, who is going to be tagged. It's going to happen to a lot of players each week at the moment. I think you just roll out 8 of your favourite midfielders that you can afford in your midfield and hope 6 of them don't cop a tag. I think that's...
Yeah.
And they'll all pop and hit ceilings around it, but it's inevitable that you're going to...
Is it just that
tags.
You just don't pay up for one that might cop it?
Yeah, who would we pay up for at the moment then?
You'd pay up for...
Errol. See, Errol's $1 million now,
Yep.
but you pay up for Errol and you don't worry about that. That's a good one.
Jeez.
You can nearly throw a blanket over the rest of them.
Yeah.
They're all very susceptible to sucking versus tags.
A lot of players now at their point, at a decent price, is Dunkley someone.
So
Not that he's been given out decent scores, but
You're right.
Is he copping the tag? He's that guy that's not copping it.
You're right. He's that guy that we were just talking about. So he should be a prime guy at the moment. He's just not.
But he's not hitting numbers.
No, which I don't know why that's dried up for him, to be honest. But, yeah, Neil's started to cop it, and Dunks he's dropping off around it as well. So he's an exception to the rule that we just talked about.
Unbelievable.
All right, we're into round 15, which Cow is what number by round?
Is it the 8?
8, or technically 9.
9.
If you count.
But it's the last one.
It's the last one.
It's the last one.
So it's the last time that we are taking our best 18 from our on-field 22. And also, last chance that we've got 3 trades to use. So we've got our, team sorted. And our aim always through the buys is to keep improving your team.
Yeah.
Bring in players that have had their buy, trade out players, especially the rookies or the mid-prices that have their buy upcoming. That's the simple strategy.
Yes.
And so some of those players that hit those... those categories as the trading out players. You've got guys like your Joel Freya. You might say, yep, see you later, mate. You might go if you still had Wilson going there because he's got the bides. A few of them sort of floating around in that sort of look. But then you've got some mid-price type players now. If you want to call them mid-prices, Cow, you might have someone like a Riley Bonner, for example.
Yep.
He's got a buy. He goes now.
Oh,
he hasn't scored very well for you.
He's been terrible.
Month.
He has. Dropped right off.
So they're the sorts of guys. Harvey Gallagher, he could be gone if you still got him, but all those types of players, that's your first port of call.
Yes.
Like you want to be trying to upgrade your rookies. But it is also around where it might be that you are maybe offloading some former premiums, we might call them, and that's where some of our thinking's going a little bit.
100% it is, because we need at least, I don't know, to be competitive this week, you probably need 19 names on the
So how are
field.
you guys looking at the moment? Like, let's say it's after your trades.
How
many players will you have playing?
With luck at the selection table, I'll probably have 20.
Yep.
But within 18 of them are probably strong, pretty good players this week compared to usual.
I'm the same.
But I'll only be dropping off 2, and they're like Pinky's one of them, for example.
Oh, okay. So Pinky's there. Yeah. So I'll be playing 20.
Yeah.
But all 20 are on field for me next week.
Holy moly.
So that's a strong week for the dog.
I've built my team around that, thinking that
Clever.
Try to get to that point.
Yeah.
It hasn't executed as well as what I would have liked. But my worst players, so if I'm predicting, and these are both going to be wrong because someone else will be bad.
Yes.
Tom Powell is my worst of that 20, and he's probably my 22nd player in my team. But then is it someone like a trade-in target like a Caldwell is there? Everyone else is competent on their day, is what we talked about. And Cows walked up and says, got an idea.
Yeah, you know what these guys are called? I'm calling them Bradmans, right?
Yes,
and they've got to be capable of getting 100.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
9.94.
So Bradman Roy, and I did a bit of research on this, he hit a ton in 36% of his games.
Right.
So if you're looking at a player and you're like, is this player capable of scoring a ton this week?
Yep.
Now, you can have a look at someone like Jack Steele. Right. Now, he hasn't hit a ton in his last 3.
Yeah.
But this year he's got, I think, it's like 57% of his games he's hit a ton.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's higher.
0% this week, though.
Well, that's exactly right. But it's a player like that. So like a Clayton Oliver. He's not a Bradman.
No, he's not.
He hasn't hit a ton in his last 5.
No.
In fact, he's only hit 2 this year out of his 13 games.
Yes.
So
Jeez, that's not very good.
it's not good at all. So a Kapow,
Yeah.
is he a Bradman? No, right?
No.
So he's at 23% because he got those ones earlier in the year, but he hasn't hit one in the last 8.
No.
So that doesn't mean they have to hit it across the whole year with that percentage, but it's also what they've been doing recently. So we can't count Kapow as an actual adult.
No.
This week.
No.
Right?
No.
That's not an adult on field.
As a keeper.
No, it's like Harvey Thomas for me. Not an adult, mate.
No.
So, yeah.
How many do you have playing?
I'm struggling, dog.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty bad this week.
You know, you shouldn't have traded out Arie for Marshall.
Yeah, I know. Marshall. Jeez, he served me well, hasn't he?
You were thinking he could keep doing those 150 pluses, right?
Can you cover it? Or that'll be a hole in your team?
Oh, there's a big hole in the team. I will have 17, 18. I'll have 19 to 20 this week. And how many Bradmans? maybe I'm going to say 15.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Just pick a good captain, mate.
I'll try.
But it is like how we'll look at our strategy. Like we'll probably be trading players that we might have kept in other circumstances this week.
Yeah.
So your team's very good, Roy.
Well, it's solid, yeah.
But you're going to get rid of a Jack Steele, for example?
I am. So do you want to hear my trades?
We'll talk about them in a bit. But
Yeah,
if
but
you
no.
can talk about those. Yeah.
No, so Jack Steele, yes. He's someone that he's been frustrating me anyway. So the fact that he's, off this week and my team is in a reasonable position, yes, he'll be offloaded for me. Now, an interesting thing about my team at the moment, because of that Simpkin situation, Simpkin was never going to be long-term. Like, he's not in the role on 22, for example.
He's not a Bradman.
No, he's not a Bradman, but I still counted him as like a
functioning
fallen
adult.
premium, happy with him. After the buys, you got your 22. There's no rookies to be seen on field, yada, yada. I was happy to have him as the first one that I'd look to upgrade.
Yeah.
Now, I was lucky enough to be in that position at the start of the buys. I had all the rookies off a normal week, best 22, right?
Yep.
Now, with the Simpkin shuffle and the downgrade, I'm back to a rookie. I've backed up the truck.
Yeah, okay.
I am now 1 week further behind where I was weeks ago.
Yeah,
but you've probably got someone you can have some confidence in round 16. Or
post-trading.
Yeah.
I think I can comfortably trade my way back out of it.
16, round
it's
16,
just like,
you're right.
picture me as big lump, only player in the D50, calling for it.
Yeah.
I've gone back to go
You've
forward.
got peroxide hair.
I am. I'm Luke Ryan. I've just called for it back there. They've kicked it 50 metres back to me.
Yep.
+6. I've swung it out the other side. But I am going back to hopefully go forward.
Take a step back to take 2 steps forward.
Yeah, that.
That's a classic Dwayne quote, that one.
Yeah.
Goes back to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, thanks.
Well done.
Anyway, hope that was an interesting
Dwayne was
story.
good. Dwayne had a good quote on the weekend.
What was that?
They fought Treloar and Treloar won.
Oh, I
did
did.
hear that.
Good one.
I did hear that one.
Yeah, quality one.
Not bad.
I think he's used it before, though.
He would have used it before.
But it's still a good one. Still a good
All right,
one.
some of the players that we might look at trading in this week. Let's start in the back line. I'll start with Christian Salem. He's my target back there to get. I think I'm not so much of a forgotten about guy because I reckon a lot of people will probably do it, but 706K, got a break even of 49. Petrarca out. He's been going over a ton for his last few games. So I think, he's just a lock for me. It's an easy sort of move.
It's a good price.
Yeah, it's
Definitely for what he can do.
100%. So I'm looking to really lock into some of those, despite them being tag options. I'm locking into some of the big dogs in the midfield. So I'm bringing in Walsh and Merritt, and it's at the expense of, two pretty good players, Jack Steele and Will Day, who I always got that first buy round purely to play until this point.
Where are we sitting here with Rosie?
Right. So he's in my team, but basically bringing in this week, and I don't love it, but there aren't many around that price.
I know.
That's the issue.
So he's like low 700s, but Roy, 72 points last week, 14 touches.
I don't think you saw enough.
No.
I don't think there's justification to go early on it.
You were loving him early, Cal.
So what did he go? 112 in his first
He's
5.
elite.
Right, and then, unlucky Cal, boom, boom, few bullets come his way.
So his season's been derailed, obviously, by injury, and he will get back.
Yep.
But don't you want to see something first?
Well,
this makes him the third banana for tags, though.
but it's got
How bad he's been.
It's just got Tom Green written all over it. What has Tom Green done? Coming off his
Not
buy,
enough.
yes, he's a target, yes, he's cheap.
But he's getting tagged as well.
Yeah.
At least, like you said, Rosie's avoiding tags at the moment.
So would you buy into it this week, Roy?
I think it's too early.
Yeah.
You definitely can wait. But
Oh, you can wait.
the issue is, I'm
If
just
that's
like
what you
going,
can get
that's
to,
all I can get to.
it's an elite name.
It's a great name.
And
but
it's
you're
gonna
going
bounce
in with
back at
more-
some stage.
You're going in with more hope than the lock, aren't you? Like you're just going, there's not a lot of confidence, really, with what you pick.
It will not surprise me in the slightest the week he comes out and goes 100 plus.
Yep.
I thought he might have even done it this week.
100 plus, like, I want more than that.
I don't think he had to get it. 14 touches. And the bits I saw of the game, he actually looked good.
Yeah.
He was coming back and taking cheap marks inside the defensive 50.
Yeah. Okay. If he's all you can get to, that you could do far worse, because it's not like he's forgotten how to play. He will get back to what he did at the start of the year. He's a gun.
So he's nearly...
I don't know if I want you to do it, though.
So even though Merritt is cheap, so Merritt's under 900,
Yeah.
it's nearly 200K difference between the two.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's so much.
it is. You got a lot more faith in Merritt, though, don't you?
You do, and he's got a good run coming up.
He
Not
does.
as good as Sam Walsh, though, Roy.
He'd be nice to have this week.
So he's got Geelong into Richmond.
Yeah.
Two of the easiest team for midfielders.
That's where your target is. So we talk about Goulden as someone you're paying up for, then that's that 100 grand cheaper or 70 grand cheaper to just be getting, wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
All right, question. Can I get rid of Rowan Marshall this week and bring in another ruck?
Well, you've got Max.
I've got Max.
Max is the one that you want. That if you don't have him,
Now's the time.
do you tick that?
Yes.
Yep.
You need Max.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Okay. Could you go to Grundy, who is in great form?
He's been very
Could
good.
Grundy be the second best ruck this year?
No. Not once Rowan straightens himself out and gets rid of Doom-de-Doom.
God, he's having
Is
a
he a
good
better
year.
Bradman? He's probably hit more hundreds.
Yeah, but Rose just got those big ones.
The way Rowe finished last year and the form he showed a few weeks ago.
Yep.
That's what tricked Cow in.
I know.
No, you
dangle
did.
a big score in front of me and I'll take that.
Grundy, though, ruck pig, back. That
He
is
is
pretty
back.
impressive. Yeah, super impressive.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Like, you're not buying into X or anything like that now. Especially now that he's got Teakle there with him.
His tackling aggression was on show again
Yeah.
on the weekend. He hammers midfield.
He's brutal.
He somehow gets him, reins him in.
Yep.
It's like Warnie remember when he used to chase us in the basin?
Yep.
In that deep water?
Try to drown us.
Like, technically, I thought I
Cow
could
was
get
easy
away
prey
from him.
because he couldn't swim.
And Warnie, just super speed out there.
Isn't he?
He'd rein you in and
Drown you. Yeah, it was great. It's a great game to play.
You're at a disadvantage, though, because you don't have flippers on your feet.
In the forward line,
You know
right.
Kieran Perkins with size 15.
Oh, you're an idiot.
No, he wasn't, was he?
Taylor
I've
Adams.
never seen someone kick and it didn't splash.
Get off. Workplace bullying.
Size 8. 6'2", size 8 feet.
Size 10. They're size 10. They're bigger than yours.
It defied logic. Cal, just kick your legs. You'll get in quicker. I am kicking.
All right, let's talk about some forwards then.
Please. Taylor Adams.
Like Cal propelling forward. It was like,
You should have got into diving or something.
point your toes.
How fat I am, Roy.
Point your toes.
Can you imagine me diving? Big as bomb. Right.
All right.
Taylor Adams. Taylor Adams.
Really?
Yeah, no, people have been asking about him, so I put him in there. Now, he did look great.
He did.
On the weekend, scored a ton. You see that price, 616, break even of 52. That ticks a heaps of boxes. That ticks a lot of boxes.
Yes.
However, it's his first score over 83, and it's a massive no from me.
Agree.
Okay, no. What about any other forwards? I'm looking at going Jye Caldwell, Roy.
Yes.
You put him into your role in 22.
Yep, so he's a tick.
Confident that he's there?
Yeah, well, I'm confident that he's there. It's a very vulnerable position, that F6, but out of the blanket, he's clearly the one putting his hand up at the minute.
Well, he's better than Jack McRae. Oh, that's why I'm
goodness.
looking there.
Yeah.
I want to throw a name up after watching the Bombers pretty much win the game against the Blues a couple of weeks ago. Well, all the stat lines.
Stat lines.
Anyway, I'm not going
Yes.
full Donald Trump like Brad Scott was in that one.
No, he lost
pretty
the
much-
plot in
It was
that one,
good.
didn't he?
But Jye Menzie. Okay.
Oh, yeah, no,
so there
good
was a
call,
role
good
there
call.
that was nice.
Yeah.
And I think he's under 400, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Well, I know he's cheap.
He is coming in at 345, super cheap.
Yeah.
So he had quite a good game because it was all about the role, and
Yeah.
he was on that half back. Scored 87, 20 kicks, 9 marks was the
9
big
marks.
thing. That's
Yeah,
what it
it
was
was
all
really
about.
impressive.
So did enjoy that and thought that that's a great price. Anyone that
is.
can have a stat line that looks like
Yes.
that and can have a role that looks like that, you could go into,
Yeah.
and that could be an F6 for the time being if you
Definitely.
needed to, especially if you needed the cash,
Yes.
and all that sort of thing. So. Redmond was out that game.
Yes.
I'd want some confidence that he's actually going to be in the 22. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But,
He
also
needs
playing
that role.
game. Oh, 100%.
For it to be a play. And if he's in that role, though, it's a great play.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, Bombers have a great run.
They do.
West Coast, Geelong, Pies, D's, Crows, Saints.
Yep.
You'd struggle to find a better one than that. So, yeah. Well, Dog, you need to get your sources out, mate. It's your team.
Yeah, I need to find out about that. Because I could do it, but I'd be nervous, very nervous going into it for that medium term anyway.
I know.
So cheap.
Yeah.
But so where would that leave him out of the buys if you...
Like he'd be my F6, essentially.
Right.
But then
In
I'm getting someone better than Rosie, for example,
Yes.
because I'd be going to that.
Well,
Again,
if
is
he's
that
in
worth
the role,
Yeah.
I'd be doing it.
It's an interesting one.
It is.
Interesting conundrum. We do have.
It is. Very interesting.
That's what fantasy
we
footy
just
is.
need to find source.
A quick one. Can people go early on Arie? Bring him in this week.
Well, it's an interesting situation, isn't it? Because we often talk about this and we never would do it with a premium.
No.
But
If it helps you with your structure and stuff, like this is another mistake for me. I need a D7,
Yep.
D8, whatever, for round 16. So that he's perfect to do that.
Yeah.
Because you may have bigger issues next week.
yeah,
If you're in a position where you actually do need to have someone.
Back to 2 trades.
Yeah.
yeah. So I think, yes, you can
you
with
can.
him. He just, I don't know what world, other than injury, he wouldn't hold his spot. So given their injuries in defence,
Fly rounds are always reset rounds.
they are, given the way he used the ball, it came as no surprise to us that he was going to come out and kick it like he did.
Yep.
The commentary at the start of the game, did you hear it? Oh, he'll be in there to lock down someone defensively. No. He's down there to kick the hell out of the leather.
Wouldn't have wanted that too much either.
No, 100%. So I think he did his job. If you're going to go early on someone, do it for a guy that played that well that's 230.
How many players would you need playing, though, to do it this week as well? Is that another thing?
I think, except for Cow, I think a lot of us have pretty good at least 17.
Yeah.
And then you take the best of the next 2 or 3.
Couple, yeah.
Yeah. So
if you've got 19,
if they were 19,
and you had 17 good players,
if it was 17 premiums, 2 mid prices, yeah, you'd do it, wouldn't you?
It's an interesting one.
I think you can do it. I think it's better than bringing in someone that you've got no faith in that's going to play and drop off their score anyway. Yeah, maybe.
Let's have a look at the most traded players ahead of round 15. Zach Merritt's at the top of the list, and people are keen to get in that premium midfielder. Then you've got Arie Schoenmaker there. Connor Rozier's in the list, as well as Sam Walsh, and Alex Sexton also makes the list. A couple down further, bit of Salem action as well. But they're the ones that people are bringing in, and there is a bit of a mix so far, early doors anyway. The most traded out, Jack Steele. Happy to say goodbye to that former premium midfielder after he's had a couple of poor scores. Yes. But Fraser, McAuliffe, Wilson, Sharp, all rookies essentially are the other ones, which is a good strategy
100%.
To be playing for. And that's what we've hopefully been doing over the buys. So with our trades, I'm not trading any rookies because I've pretty much done all that. So I am bringing in Salem, Rosie and Caldwell. So one in each line there essentially. And Baker, Steele and McRae go. They're big names, but they're not performing for me as I need them to. So they've all got the buy. So there's that strategy. And I'm getting a premiums, yes. Rosie, in for that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to keep chasing players in my role on 22. So I'm bringing in Walsh and Merritt as 2 really big dogs. I also reckon I feel like I'm the master at reading into interviews.
Yeah.
And I think McKercher would have been right last week.
Okay.
Give him an extra week. I reckon he'll be back this week. So I think I'm going to take him as an underpriced guy, and then he will be my 22nd best player coming out of the buys.
And you're okay to play with that?
And I'm okay.
I guess the defender mid status.
Yes.
I did see on your list, though, Day.
Yes. So my outs, Steele, Day and Freya. So Steele, well, it's a popular move. You can see why I'm doing that. Will Day, I got in that first week of the buys when you had to bring in someone who's going to have a buy, and I thought, you can play until the end there, mate. He did a reasonable job. He did. And, now he's gone for an Uber premium.
What's the mighty team doing?
Well, I am holding hope that Colby's back as well.
Yeah.
So he'll join Sam Walsh for me, and it's time to go for Bonner and Saligo.
Saligo.
Who have not done what they needed to do over the buy rounds.
Why not?
Because they're no good. Simple as that, dog.
Saligo was going to be the great white hope for you.
So did I.
Yeah.
But guess what? He ain't.
Got a question for the traders? Tweet the boys at AFL Fantasy or head to facebook.com/AFL Fantasy official.
All right, it is Twitter time. We don't even have a lot of time left here, boys, because we talked a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot, but it's good.
It was content.
I'm sure there's been
if we take out
content.
If we take out the parts where you just insult me
and talked about you on the toilet, that was a waste of time from a fantasy perspective.
Talk about my feet and my team.
All right, we want to answer this one from Matthew. Traded in Whitfield when the Simpkin news came in rather than downgrading to Kruger. 120 points. Thank you.
Well done.
Is he a play to have for the rest of the season with his 100 average or just until after the buys? Well, Whitfield, he's a keeper.
Yeah.
He's good enough to be a top 6 defender. He's probably not quite in there, is he?
He's not quite in there. He's definitely in the mix. I rate him highly. Like I said, if he wasn't going to...
He's been a good buy player because he scored
big time.
Quite well.
If he wasn't going to get clamped this week, I'd be looking to bring him in.
So he's going at 102.
Yeah.
Like he's having a good year.
Great player. You'll keep him the rest of the year.
MacGyver, Zorko and Rosie are trade targets, but have break-evens of 129 and 130. Is someone like an Amadi Party with a break-even of -3 worth a 1-week play to potentially save a lot of coin and then trade them in next week?
No.
Nah, trades are very valuable things.
Don't go there. But
can you play some sort of break-even game with a guy that you're getting that you just know is short term. What are you doing with trades for round 17, for example? Like if Roy's got this completed team, they could be those shuffles,
I know.
and you get your Rosie heaps cheaper, or you get your Zorko a bit cheaper.
Someone like Amadi though, what if injuries strike and you get stuck with him?
10 kicks.
Yeah,
10 kicks.
10 kicks and 9 goals won.
well, Rosie only had 14 touches, so
Well, there you go. No, we don't do things like that. We don't do that.
no. I think at this time of year, if you have a bit of faith in Rosie or Zorko, whoever you were talking about, you can go early regardless of their break even.
Agree, because Rosie had a massive break even.
Yeah.
Right? He's dropped about, 60K last week. He's got a break even of 130.
So, yeah, some people will wait and get them cheaper. But if for some reason it's right for your team at the moment and you've got the cash to do it, you just launch in and do it, I reckon.
You do it anyway.
Nathan's got this one. Who are we targeting for F5 and F6? Currently have Flanders, Heaney, Zorko, Sexton, Fisher, Jackson. Not really sold on anyone for the 2 spots at the end. So
Where is
do you
it,
just
Roy?
keep rolling with it? Do you not reach there?
So who's he rounded out with? Jackson.
Jackson, Fisher, Sexton are sort of the bottom 3 there. But
Well, so 2 of them are in the rolling 22.
Yeah.
So Jackson's the only one who's not in, and he's not awful. So it's only Caldwell that I've got ranked ahead of him,
and
rounding it
are you
out.
gaining heaps by doing
I
that?
don't think so.
So Jackson's gone 86 in his last 3, coming off a 91.
See, that's
You
that's
just
well and
keep might as
truly in the
well.
mix.
Just keep it till it fails.
I think so.
Yep.
All right, Chris, who on earth are the forwards that we can target for the remainder of the season? I feel like Moore is a trap. Where does Moore sit for you?
Yeah, I politely put him in the mix because his best is great. Like, and his ceiling is really good. But
He'll
quite
probably
often,
average well,
Yeah, I
but you're
think
going to
so.
have the
There'll be
highs and the lows.
yeah.
It's a bit like your Bradman thing. I was going to say about that. Bradman must have a good ceiling because if he's going at 30-odd%,
yeah, still
hundreds.
averaging
Yeah.
100.
like
yeah.
we don't want our players only going at
No,
30% hundreds.
no, he goes on with it. He goes
does.
on with it.
That's it.
Yeah. So, what was the main point behind
Dylan
that last
Moore.
one?
Dylan Moore, yeah.
It's he would be ranked about probably 8th.
He's an 85 guy.
Yeah.
You know, and
So he'd be about 8th, I reckon.
Yep.
Now, Kysaiah Pickett is a question here. 590K, got the forward status with Petrarca out. Because he does get those stints in the midfield. So, last game, 95 points, had 19 touches, 5 marks, 4 tackles.
Yeah.
Is he an option?
I think we've been there before and it failed.
But with Petrarca out, like,
Yeah,
is that the thing that
I
might
know,
be?
and it's a great point to bring up. But I also feel like Petrarca's been playing a lot forward,
Yeah.
because they needed his access to goals.
Yep.
Now he's not there; they've got even less access to goals. At least because he can kick goals.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be him filling any midfield void. I
Hmm.
think they need his goals forward.
agree. What he's saying here is a huge increase in CBA's last time when obviously Petrarca was out. So
Oh, well, there you go. That might be what they're
so
doing.
he was there for the last game. Other than that, he's just sort of been pinch hitting a bit.
Hayden has got this one. Steele to Heaney and Lipinski to Caldwell.
So what they moved? Hang on, sorry.
sorry.
Cozzy moved into the midfield when Petrarca went down.
Yeah, so in his last 3 games here, he was in there 83% last time, and that's equal high with Oliver.
So that's when Petrarca went down.
Yep.
So they had to do it on the fly. They
Yep.
didn't have the chance to
Think about it.
Two
change
games-
anything at the
Yep.
selection table.
No, 2 games before that though, 52%, 74%.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, yep, have a look at him for sure. I don't have much faith, though. but-
No, neither do I.
Hayden, I read that one. Steele to Heaney, Lipinski to Caldwell. Yep. Tick.
Yep.
Yep. Now, Heaney, you think is going to cop a hard tag this week, don't you?
That's if they do it again with Bedford. But I just can't see why they don't.
No.
Like, it works so well.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I think Heaney's the one you go to.
yeah, definitely. He's the most impactful player in the game at the moment. He's a midfielder kicking goals.
Yep.
I tell you what, though, he's a bit of a harder body to push out of the way than Zach, isn't he?
Agree.
But might as well try.
Sonny wants to know, is it too late for Goulden? No.
No,
it's not.
No,
Massive target, isn't he?
Yep. The last 2 weeks we said we make him the trade target of the highest priority, it still remains that way even though he's a mil.
He's got to break even 92.
Exactly.
He's still going up.
Yeah.
DLE says, thoughts on Vine is a target with track out.
See, that's where I'd be looking. One man down and he dominated last year. It's one man down again.
Patches with those, yep.
So he's done it for prolonged periods before. That is someone who would be a player of interest to look at.
So he's 812, which is 100K more than Rosie.
Yeah, but it's hitting zone of a cheaper guy.
What's he been doing lately?
Let's have a quick look. So he's gone at 93 in his last three. Surely he gets a little bit of a bump on that.
I think he's underpriced.
I like it.
A couple of people have asked about Elliot Yeo, bringing him back in. Is it an option?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, he's a very good player. What's he priced at now?
741.
Yeah, it's still cheap.
It's still
very cheap.
Yeah, if that's all you can get to, who have you got more faith in at the moment scoring, Yo or Rosie?
Yeah. Yo.
Still body.
Oh, 100%.
Elliot Yeo still has a body.
Yeah.
Salem is a little bit cheaper than Yo.
Yeah, so Salem's a top target, I think,
Yeah.
out of any of these types of guys in this hitting zone.
Yeah, so Yoey, great. I'd probably go Salem at the moment.
Luke, why was Sharp so blunt?
I don't
15.
know.
15.
Jeez, trading him at his buy was the right call.
It was. You've talked about me nailing timing of trades. That dog
Because there's a world that you could have
is
held him.
elite work. Well, his numbers suggested that.
Yep.
Why would you trade?
The guy I went to isn't
Killing it.
blowing.
No, but that's unlucky.
Although I did change that trade. That was getting Errol
That's
in.
right.
Yeah.
So you went him to
Sharp
Errol.
Genius.
That is.
Wasn't the green.
That's probably trade of the year.
Yep. How are you not winning a hat?
Oh, I'm not far off. We are winning a hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we
are winning a hat because
Come on,
Roy
is
We
dominating.
are winning a hat.
Can't wait.
No, we're not.
To have the hat here. It's going to be great. All right, that'll do us because we've been going for a while now. Hopefully you got something out of that. We'll be back on Thursday night for AFL Fantasy Live. And don't forget, there aren't any Thursday night games. So that's a great part of your Thursday evening. If you don't catch it live, you can listen afterwards and enjoy that. But also enjoy all the other content that is going through afl.com.au, especially our fantasy stuff with the stock take.
Yeah.
With
That'll be out.
Fantasy Ready.
That'll be out.
That'll be there.
Calvin, it takes him a while to do it too. Look at him typing there with those two fingers.
Hit stop. Jeez.
You've been in the votes today, Calvin.
Get on with it.
Thanks, legends. See ya. And
Good luck and happy trading.
Cow, you right?
I'm right. Get on with it.